Pop quiz. When was the last time all of Toronto's streetcar lines were operating without any closures or delays? As a streetcar replacement bus rumbles along King Street in the background. Well, are you stumped? Well, so am I. I can't even think of a time when that was the case. But anywho, we're going to be exploring yet another closure along King Street. The city has closed down the intersection of King and Church to all traffic until at least sometime in August. So what I'll be doing is going from a walk here at King and Simcoe, heading east, and that'll take us through the financial district over to King Street. And we'll see just how blocked off that intersection is and what access is like for pedestrians. And we'll also see a number of streetcar replacement buses along the way. By the way, it is Monday, June 2nd. 5:18 p.m. is the time, and the temperature is about 22 degrees Celsius. And that's a look west into the entertainment district. There's Roy Thompson Hall and the CN Tower behind it, as people queue up to board one of the replacement buses.
But I don't know why.
The Queen Street line, which runs parallel to King just to the north of here, also has a disruption. Streetcars have been diverted for several blocks due to construction of the Ontario line, and that one will last about 4 years or so. And King Street here is a dedicated transit priority corridor that was piloted in 2017, and it was so successful it was made permanent in 2019. So that prioritizes transit vehicles between, I think it's Bathurst Street to the east, or to the west, which is behind me, and Jarvis Street to the east. So at most intersections throughout the transit priority corridor, vehicles have to turn right. That was a Toronto Police tow truck that went right through the intersection. I'm assuming that's okay. Cyclists may also proceed through these intersections, of course. The idea was to speed up a very congested streetcar line. And at this intersection of St. Andrew and King, there is a subway station, St. Andrew. That's where I arrived from. Wait for the light to change. And being a nice day, there's probably more people walking than usual and taking bike share, and less people down underneath in the path system. What's happening is at King and Church, a 142-year-old water main is being replaced. They're also taking that chance to, as I smash my watch against the bike share rack there, Nothing scratched. And I think the city's also taking that opportunity to repair some of the streetcar tracks. And you can see the signs there. No left turns, TTC vehicles accepted, no right turns. So this is one of the intersections where you have to go straight through. What I don't understand is why they don't make these signs more visible. People in the area who are familiar with driving around here have no problems navigating King Street, but you'll often see out of province license plates pulled over by the police. I think those no turning signs should be red LEDs that are a lot more visible. This closure started today. It was originally planned for July, but due to underground utility conflicts, the city moved up the timeline. You can see the track replacement work is well underway. There are protected bike lanes just north of here on Adelaide and Richmond Streets. So that would definitely serve as a better option. If you're passing through here on bike. Taps, and I'll look up at what is for a little bit longer the tallest building in the country, or at least tallest completed building. I think One Bloor West has since surpassed it. There's the TD Center across the street. So apparently the 504C and 504D and 304D King replacement buses will divert via Jarvis Street, Front Street, eastbound, Wellington Street, westbound, and Yonge Street. The 504 King streetcar will divert both ways via Shaw Street, which is to the west of here. The 503 Kingston, which runs along this part of King, will continue to divert at Spadina Avenue between Queen West, running west on King Street to the Dufferin Loop. And the article I read also notes there'll be temporary sidewalk closures and limited access to businesses and various properties. You'll often hear Toronto has two seasons, winter and construction. And if you live along the corridor, there are condos along here where the work's being done. You can expect to listen to those wonderful sounds until 11 p.m. each night. This is Bay Street, so this is kind of like the heart of the financial district. It says there'll be excavation activities and heavy braking at various times throughout the day. Most of the concrete work will be between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. There is always something with the streetcar networks. I wonder if the trams in Europe go down this often and this long. Some of the lines were down when I was in Amsterdam. Everything was running properly when I was in Brussels. Let's look up at Scotia Plaza. But recently, the Spadina streetcar line went down. That one has a dedicated right-of-way, which ironically, the larger, higher capacity streetcars move along more slowly than buses do. But that one was down for a very long time, much longer than originally anticipated. And the St. Clair streetcar line has seen similar disruptions in recent years. Queens Quay has had a number of diversions. That would be the Harbourfront and Spadina streetcar lines that run along Queens Quay. Hence my initial question at the start of this video. If you know a time when all the streetcar lines were running, do let me know, or at least the last time. I'd be curious to find out. This is going to be kind of nice. This stretch of King Street seems mostly closed to traffic. What I'm going to do is we're going to see what it's like navigating King and Church. I'll try to walk around the intersection. Then maybe make my way down to Birksea Park to finish things, where I believe they've turned on the dog fountain. This is Yonge Street. There's a subway underneath here. But the Ontario line should solve some of this problem, because that'll run east-west along the north end of the financial district under Queen Street. That'll take a lot of the burden off of the King streetcar. Road closed, local traffic only. Weekly Muscle Special, smoky bacon. I was at that very restaurant on Saturday night. I had the pulled pork sandwich. I was with someone who had the mussels. Apparently they're pretty good. We've got a nice outdoor patio. It's a solid restaurant that's surprisingly reasonably priced for what it is.
Just to feel like, oh yeah, like get your Hep A vaccine.
This is Victoria Street. There's the King Eddie. That opened back in 1903, if I remember correctly. I've only looked that up 100 times for prior videos. think it was the first luxury or five-star hotel in the city. Now it's run by Omni Hotel. That's Toronto Street. And let's see what it's like to navigate around Church Street. And I mentioned patios earlier. There's a very popular bar on the southeast corner called Score on King. Just taking a picture of the sign. You can move it. Bad timing, I guess. But I imagine that patio might suffer a dip in traffic with more limited access to it and the potential wrath of construction noises. Oh, and there's the Google Canada offices.
Спасибо. Just
One person claimed that the new one
There's the Score over there.
Yeah, it's only, what, 3 nights or something?
Sis. That's St. James Cathedral on the left. So not much of a diversion as a pedestrian going north. Just about half a block or so.
and then you'll have to go to X.
Ah, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I think.
Well, the lack of traffic is sure pleasant. But unfortunately, the unsightliness of the construction kind of cancels that out. There's the St. James Cathedral.
What happened?
Oh, don't bother me. Yes. What's this for this brother, uncle?
Você viu muito vídeo?
estava em casa, fazia no.
We'll take a little diversion through the park. What a amazing day this is. Oh well, back to the script. There's a 504 King bus right there at Jarvis and King, so that's diverting south. Well, both of them are. I guess with Queen buses already running north of here, makes more sense for them to go that way.
No, it wasn't it. He came in like a Highlander.
It's 5:40. I don't know why the church bells are going nonstop. That pub I mentioned is just coming up on the left. They've got a location that recently opened up where the Black Bull is. On Queen West. This is a fantastic patio. I'll have to make some plans to come here. Make sure to support this place. It is excellent. It would be a real shame if they suffered any loss in business over this. I don't think the city has any plans on compensating them. It's kind of a too bad, so sad, tough luck situation. But we've walked entirely around the diversion. Look at this wimpy camera. That was probably CTV doing a news story on the closure. City News. There's something so nice about this weather. It's like rediscovering the city again.
I see you in YouTube.
Oh, awesome. Cheers. There's a viewer. Friendly guy. And a look at the Flatiron building, which too can't escape the construction. There's a film crew. Just on the left, there are streetcar tracks along Wellington. Sometimes you'll see streetcars divert down Church Street. These were recently restored. There's Berksey Park. Some debate the pronunciation of it. I just say Berksey. We'll get a glimpse at the dog fountain in a minute. I wonder if that's a prop.
Here we go. He's filming himself already.
How nice is this? Oh, there's a packed King Street bus. And a friendly pigeon. Probably hoping I have something for him. Oh, he just dropped a deuce. But that is all she wrote for this one. I just wanted to check out King Street and the closure. I think we'll have plenty more lovely days like this coming up where I'll be able to get some nice walks in and around the city. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. And here's the part where I spin the camera around and say goodbye, and this is the last you see of the video, but that'd be such a shame with the fountain right there, so we'll finish up with a view of that. I've got a live stream to set up and get running. All right, thank you for watching, guys. Yoink.